Oh, there you are, you came! Okay, where were we? You may already know this if you follow me on Facebook and or Twitter. If you don't tweet, the links are in the info box. Anyway, a few weeks ago, I taught a creative writing class, and it was amazing. It was such an experience. I'd never done it before. I really hope that I get the chance to do it again because it was amazing. I mean, I should have known because I've been teaching English for years now, but I was nonetheless surprised at finding out how much you can learn by teaching. It's amazing. Anyway, so before that class, I'd been browsing around, God, what's wrong with my voice? So I was browsing around, trying to find books about writing, ideas and how to structure the class itself. And I stumbled upon this. It's Stephen King's On Writing. And I don't know how I could miss this. It's revealing and it's compelling. And I think it depicts the inextricable link between writing and living, especially in the healing process after his near-fatal accident in 1999. It's really entertaining and it's funny and tender. It's filled with childhood memories. I think anyone who loves a great story well told will love this. Oh, there's something that I meant to talk to you about for like 8 of these videos. I think it's a funny habit that I have and I just wanted to share it with you. Every time I start a book, I pick a tag, maybe from a t-shirt that I bought or just a receipt, really anything. And I keep the same bookmark for the whole book. And in the end, I leave it there, like I open the book and I put it there. Because somehow I feel the bookmark that I chose was part of the reading experience. I don't know, what do you do? Is there any strange habits that you have while reading? Another thing that I do sometimes, not really all the time, I write in pencil on the last page, maybe a sentence. Not that I could, well, not now, I'm way too young for this. But I don't know, maybe when I get really, really old and I can't remember, I will just look at those notes and think, oh yeah, I liked this book. I won't remember why, but God, I'm really sorry. It's 2:31 in the morning. Okay, again, about writing, I have to talk about this. It's not a book I've just read. It's Exercises in Style. This one, on the other hand, compared to On Writing, and technically, on the other hand, will show you how many ways there are to tell the same story. So here's 99. Can you come up with more? Oh, here come my favorites. This one was actually suggested to me via email and I'm so thankful. And I have no clue on how it stayed out of my radar for so long. It's Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. When I talked to my mom about this book, she said, I thought you had read everything Neil Gaiman had ever written, even his scribbles on the side of his math textbook. And I thought that too. But somehow I had missed this. It's about the birth of the son of Satan, about the coming of end times, and the attempts of an angel and his demon pal, whose name is Crowley, by the way, to avert them, having become accustomed to their comfortable situations in the human world. And if this weren't enough to talk you into reading this, there's the Four Horsemen. It's war, famine, death, and pollution, who stepped in when pestilence retired in 1936 following the discovery of penicillin. It's brilliant! There's more, of course. There's witches and prophecies. You really, really have to meet this. It's terrific. Speaking of the apocalypse, and this was suggested to me too, via email again, young Samuel Johnson and his dachshund are trying to show initiative by trick-or-treating a full 3 days before Halloween, which is how they come to witness the strange going-ons at 666 Crowley Avenue. The family living there obviously doesn't mean any harm by flirting with Satanism, but they do have an unfortunate timing, because that happens to coincide with a malfunction in the LHC, Large Hadron Collider, and that creates a hole in the universe. It's a hole through which can be glimpsed a pair of enormous gates. to hell. And obviously, there are some pretty nasty things just itching to get out. It manages to recreate the imaginative, magical, and scary world of childhood. And if, unlike me, you have left it behind, this is a great way to visit. We all obviously, hopefully, love Oscar Wilde. And he must have been a truly great teller of stories and anecdotes, judging from his books. This book contains 60 of his spoken stories, some of which set down on paper by Wilde himself, and others documented by friends, family, and listeners, bystanders at his table. Those love must have been nights to remember. And if I were Bilbo now, I'd be holding my pipe like this. Okay, we're almost done. This is the second best book I read. No, I don't want to show you this yet. Okay, the second best book I read in the last 2 weeks. It's The Case of the Missing Books. Israel Armstrong gets to a little town in the north of Ireland to take on his new job as a librarian. But arriving there, he finds there's no job, there's no library, and there's no books. So just like with Alexander McCall Smith, we have here an investigator by chance. It's a comedy of errors, it's ironic, and it's filled with quirky characters. It's really lovely. And last, the one I've enjoyed the most lately, it's The Manual of Detection. And it's a debut. Damn you. Jebediah Barry, damn you. No, I'm not serious, obviously. It tells the story of one Charles Unwin, who works as a clerk at the agency in a grey and rainy city. And what's really amazing about this book is that this is all you need to know, because the rainy, greyish city, you've seen it every time you've thought about a noir mystery story. And that's the city this story takes place in. And the character, his hat, his coat, you've seen them all because they're paradigmatic, really. The agency investigates anything and anyone, and it doesn't really matter why. Its archives, you'll go back there, in your nightmares or in your dreams, depending on how disturbed you are. And I don't know if I should tell you this. Well, yeah, okay. The line between dreams and reality will be lost. It's amazing. I loved it. I devoured it. Oh, and you have to check the site. It's amazing. Did I scare you? Okay. You have to check it because it's really beautiful and it gives a good idea of what's awaiting you here. Anyway, I'll put the link in the info box. And really, if you're gonna read one book I talk to you about, let it be this one, because it's worth it. Okay, and we're finally there. That awkward moment when I say bye-bye and my voice for some reason changes into something ridiculous that reminds me of the nervous smiles you pull at high school reunion dinners. You know those situations where you feel everyone's better than you? I always wonder why I go to those dinners, actually. High school was such a nightmare to me. I want nothing to remember it by. I lived pretending none of it ever happened, and regardless of what my beloved Shane, Dawson that is, says about high school for girls, no, I didn't have it easy. But then again, I'm not your average normal girl, so it figures. Anyway, let me just focus for a minute. So, I in these videos, I talk just with the same tone of voice, in the same way that I talk normally, like to people. But for some reason, when I say bye-bye, anyway, let me focus. Okay, bye-bye. Ugh. Oh, well, this was useful. I almost forgot 2 things. First, leave me a comment or a video response, that's even better, with your latest readings, or if you've read something I've shown you, or if you decide to, well, just tell me. Tell me how it went. And the second thing I have to tell you is you'll find this same video in Italian on Bluebeam's channel. Fingers crossed for uploading times. And that's really it. I hope this was interesting somehow. Let me in on your thoughts, on your opinions, and I'll talk to you soon. let me focus again. Okay, bye.